Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our exclusive Exit Broker webinar, where you will learn firsthand the secrets to success, profits, and growth from 3 of our most successful and innovative exit brokers. Now, here at Market Leader, we pride ourselves as your leading marketing partner, not only because we offer the leads and tools to be successful, but also because we strive to be the #1 source for sharing best practices, new ideas, and proven strategies used by the nation's top real estate professionals. So we do everything we can to share these best practices with you, our customers, to ensure that you keep your edge and accelerate your success. So today's speakers come from us from all over the nation. These 3 featured brokers have proven track records and powerful advice that you can use to replicate your success or their success in your own brokerage. Now, these brokers have generously offered their time, ideas, and resources because they too are passionate about the success of their fellow exit brokers. So please join me in welcoming our first broker, Tom Sharon. Tom, will you please tell us where you're from and a little bit about your office?
Hi, that is a great looking picture, isn't it? I'm telling you, I think that's a good looking guy. This is Tom Sharon. I'm with Exit Advantage Realty in Dallas. We're an office of about 32 agents. We're extremely busy and proactive within our community, and Realty Generator has been a major part of our growth over the last year, a little over a year now. We've been with you, so this has been just a tremendous enhancement to our company.
Well, thanks for joining us, Tom. And then our second broker is Susan Ebert. Welcome, Susan.
And that's a really old picture of me. And it's touched up accordingly with beautiful eyelashes, and all my wrinkles are gone.
I am, should be.
As it should be. I am from Murrieta, California. I have had my exit office for 5 years this December. We've been using Realty Generator a majority of that time. We have an average of 80 to 120 agents at any one time, and Realty Generator has increased our business almost 60% since we started using the system. It has been a wonderful, wonderful asset to our office.
Wow. Well, thanks, Susan, and I'm sure everyone's going to be excited to hear how they can replicate that 60% increase for themselves. So, and then our third broker comes all the way from the East Coast, Mike. Welcome, Mike.
That looks like me, except my mustache is a lot grayer and I'm still bald. I've got about 35 agents. I've been with Exit going on 7 plus almost 8 years now. I've been a Realty Generator customer for a good part of that, almost 6 or 7 years. And it really, as far as the business, has really produced a very stable environment in these times for my agents. And so, you know, it really does do what it's supposed to do.
Awesome. And Mike, where are you from?
I'm from Newark, Delaware. I'm the small wonder, the home of tax-free shopping. We don't have a sales tax in the state of Delaware.
Nice. So we'll bring our credit cards when we come to the East Coast.
They come out here by the truckload.
Awesome. And my name is Shannon. I'm a senior market leader trainer here, and I'll be your host for today's call. So first of all, our agenda, just so everyone knows what they can expect from today's hour-long call, is first we're going to walk you through the different strategies that our top brokers on this call use in creating a profitable financial model for their office. And there's 3 main models that we're going to be discussing. Okay. Second, we'll learn about the different recruitment strategies and retention strategies these brokers have used in their office, and strategies to maintain success. So not just bringing agents on board, but helping make sure that their businesses are growing as well underneath the Realty Generator system. Fourth, you'll have a chance to ask these experts any questions you want. So as we go through this presentation, please write down any questions you have, because you will get the chance to ask them at the end. And then last but not least, we're doing an iPad giveaway. So stay on to the very end. You must be present to win, and we'll choose somebody randomly from the attendee list today, and you will get an iPad shipped to you later. All right. So first of all, when we talk about building a profitable financial model, the first thing we need to do is really choose a model that fits our office, fits its structure, and fits really the goals that you want to achieve with the Realty Generator system. A big part of that is going to be getting agent buy-in and utilizing other profit sources. So think about those 3 different tasks as we go through these models. And as these brokers share with you those best practices, think about how you can leverage these ideas in your own office. So the first model we want to discuss is the referral fee model. Okay? This is a model where you would not collect any participation fee. All of the fees you would be collecting would be once a sale is closed. So it's all a referral fee, and that's how you're going to cover your costs with the system. The second model is a participation fee model. This is where agents pay a participation fee, a flat monthly fee, but then no additional referral fee is collected at the end. And then last is the combination model where you do a little bit of both. So I'm going to actually start with Mike, as he does a little bit of both. Mike, will you explain to us the model that you use in your office and how you use it?
Well, the way we started off with 3 model, and soon we found that there was people that saw there was a value to it, and then other people didn't.
Okay.
And it was hard to figure out, how you could take something away from one agent and not let the other agent have it. It didn't seem quite equitable. So we started off with the free, and then we went to a small $50 a month subscription fee, we call it. So you pay $50, and then we came up with a small back-end fee on a sliding scale. And then as the business grew and people could see, my agents could see that it actually worked, because seeing is believing, and when you start cashing those checks, it's real. Then we raised it to $100 because we wanted to increase our advertising, create more leads, and then we eventually settled in at $150, and we still use the back-end sliding scale. And my idea is I don't try to make money from the generator and the fees. I don't see that as being profitable. It'd be like eating your seed corn. I just don't think that that's the way you do it. You spend all the money, you try to collect a break-even amount when it's all said and done, and then we all prosper when we sell houses. And so it's worked for me. I told you this, we were talking a little while ago in the preparation of this. I'd run a little bit of a looking backwards at what we've done, and we only really kept accurate records since 2005. And in those, since 2005, we've sold $73 million, and we're in a smaller market than over $73 million in transactions from the Realty Generator, and that would have created, just using a typical around here 2.5, split on our end, and it may be a little higher, maybe a little lower because we don't calculate it exactly, but that's about 184 or $1.8 million in gross commission income. And so, you can take those numbers and figure out it has made everybody money. And the people that use it love it. And I actually had T-shirts one time. I still have a few of them left that say "Generator," Exit Central Realty. We are generator junkies. And so.
That's awesome. What did they have to do to earn that T-shirt?
When they turn in a sale, sale closed, we give them a T-shirt along with their commission check. So that they would, as a reward for doing a generator deal. And we keep track of all of this inside the transaction. When someone turns in a sale, we have a source of business question on that, because you turn in a transaction, you need all the documents that make a full transaction, and so we use that as a checklist. So from the get-go, we know where the source of business, whether it's a personal referral, friend, family, repeat customer, something like that. So and that's how we do it.
Great, great. Well, thanks very much. Is there anything specific? What about for new agents that you bring on board, or when you did have a lot of newer agents in your office, how did you initially get them to buy in to Realty Generator?
Well,
see the value.
It has been a tougher climate around here, in the sense of, well, we've had our fair share of little bounces and whatnot in the economy. We had 2 factories, a General Motors factory and a Chrysler plant closed recently, and we are a banking industry area, and so we've had some banking issues with banks, moving their credit card businesses out of the area. So we haven't done a lot of recent recruiting. But what we do have is strong retention of producing agents. And so I'm interested to hear some of this other recruiting models that are out there. And but the agent retention model, it's unbeatable. And when you have people that need to make a living, and when you're the rainmaker, you can make rain for them if they do what they're supposed to do.
Excellent. All right. Well, thanks, Mike. And Susan, what about you? What model did you choose for your office?
I do the 100% participation fee model. I don't have a contract with my agents, but what I do is I charge $200 a month for a participation fee on a monthly basis with the agents, and I limit it to 10 agents being on the system. I don't have a back-end transaction fee. I don't charge something when it closes escrow. We just go ahead and take the closings because the more business they do, then of course we're going to benefit from the closings in the office. I have to tell you, I also have a mortgage partner. I had a mortgage partner in the beginning and very many partners actually when I first began Realty Generator. And the biggest difficult thing in the office was having my agents be loyal to those partners. And slowly but surely, I actually felt bad that they weren't loyal to them, and so we changed the model to the 100% participation fee and then allow a mortgage partner to come in and participate so that we're taking care of all the loans.
Okay, so you were originally doing the referral model where you're collecting on the back end and then having those partners help cover the ongoing costs?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And then it came a time where I actually, honestly, I was about to give up, and I was, settling on, okay, this is an expensive system. I'm not positive that I'm not confident I'm going to stay with it. And it was my agents that were in the system that came to me and said, no, 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 we want this. This has been such a wonderful thing for us. We don't want you to get rid of it. And they actually saved and came and said, and I said, well, if you're going to do that, then we need to increase the fees. And every single one of them, they offered, they agreed. That's how valuable it was to the people who are using it.
Wow. Do you mind if I ask how much do they pay?
$200 a month each.
Okay. And do you charge anything for the people that have the limited participation? You said the people you just give the website to?
No, because it's such a wonderful benefit to be able to give the agents when they come on as a brand new agent. When a brand new agent is trying to get those systems in place to start working, I like to say at Exit, we're going to give you a website, and then we can move forward with that, and they don't have to worry about that system. They've got a very reliable, dependable, and beautiful site with an email address with tracking and a back end that beats any other regular website that you could give them.
Okay, great. And so they pay $200 every single month, and then is there a contract? Is there an expectation setting?
It's really funny. In the beginning, everyone had a contract. Everything was in writing, and I tracked everything. And I have to say that I had a better response when I actually lightened up. And I don't do it anymore. Everyone knows in the office that on the first of the month, if someone drops out, it's first come, first serve, and someone new may start. And you can only begin and end on the 1st or the 30th of the month. And it's just created an easier thing for the agents, and they want to participate because they don't feel like there's an obligation that they can't fulfill. It's eased and taken away the stress for them.
Okay, and then because there's only 10 and because it's opt-in, then there's also probably that, probably competitiveness in your office that you're reading that makes them want to be on the system, right?
Well, and that's really fun because with the 60% increase, and then they see my little pending board, and we put RG next to the ones that are Realty Generator, then the people are like, wait, I want to do Realty Generator. Wait, I want to do Realty Generator. And it keeps a comfortable list. And sometimes people will actually come, and they're just jump-starting their careers. And so I actually am a participant in the Realty Generator, and when a brand new agent comes on, I will go ahead, and when I get 5 leads into my system, I transfer it to a brand new agent just to get them going.
Oh, wow. Okay. That actually leads me to my next question, Susan. What's the good balance that you found? I know you and Mike both have been using this system quite a long time. How many leads per month would you say is enough to kind of keep an agent busy and engage in the system but not overwhelm them?
Well, I know that different markets, and have different numbers, and different marketing dollars provide different things inside the system. But here where I am, we average between 14 and 22 leads a month per agent. And I would say very comfortably, if you are working the system the way that you are supposed to, 20 leads is a beautiful number.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah.
So, okay, so that's just after kind of tested and tried and true, and that's been kind of the sweet spot for you.
Yeah, I'm happy with, I'd be happy with 30, but 20 will do.
So a new agent you bring on, right? So you bring on a new agent and they get 5 at first, so is it kind of like you gradually increase them to 20 or?
Well, no, I actually use it as a separate thing. I have my paying people who are $200 a month, and then I will go ahead and the ones that are generated that are my personal leads, I will actually partner with them with a brand new agent so that they get working, so that they get into the website, they see how it works, the call center calls, and it gets them working. When a brand new agent is starting, their biggest hesitation is everything that they're doing to generate leads and prospecting. Some of them are afraid to door knock. They're afraid to phone call. They're afraid to go out and work a booth. They're afraid to pass out their business cards. This throws them into the game.
Awesome. Awesome. That's great. Thank you. Tom, what about you? What model do you go with?
Well, we're probably the newest in the system. We've only been doing this for about a year. And how I came to the system, I think is important to know, because some of you may be in the same situation where you're just looking at all the alternatives. I really did a lot of due diligence by calling people in the Exit system all over the country, and I talked to people like Johnny Lowy and some of the names that you know, Wayne Furlong and some of the others. And I got nothing but glowing reports about Realty Generator, what an impact it had on their companies and how it got them going. And, you know, when you get some of these people that are, you know, have been doing this a long time and they recommend something very strongly, as they did, that's what really led me to this, because I came to the conclusion that what agents need more than anything right now are good leads. If you can control the leads, you control the market. And a lot of these people right now, some of the agents didn't have very good leads. So I said, I've got to create a way that this becomes a no-brainer so that people will get leads, they'll be able to make more sales, and as a result of that, everybody makes more money. So I called Realty Generator, and ideas began to flow not only from me to the agents, but agents to me. And we came up with a system that, first of all, it distinguishes between those people that are participating in the program financially and those that are not. Much like we've already discussed, all of our agents have access to their own website, and we do give that to them. And they also have the agent dashboard, which allows them to do leads management. That's a tremendous thing. But for the people that are involved in the leads themselves, I had to create a system that, if I could find a way that it would cost them virtually nothing to do this initially, to get them up and running, if I could do that, I said, I'm willing to bet I'll get a number of people really interested in this. And what we did was that we did bring in a mortgage company, a major mortgage player within the Dallas marketplace, and we had them subsidize a very good portion of the overall cost. And in doing so, they would be the only mortgage company that would be affiliated with our company. Of course, we could recommend other companies, and if buyers came in, they could use another mortgage company. But we began to work their numbers, and when they realized that they could make very good money, not just from the Realty Generator leads, but from the ancillary business created by the agents that had nothing to do with it, they were on board in a heartbeat. And just to let you know that the overall cost to my company, plus the advertising cost, 50% of that is virtually borne by the mortgage company. Wow. So that helped quite a bit. And then I said, okay, now how can I pay for the rest of it without burdening the agents too much? Because much like we were talking earlier, you do want to have the agents have some skin in the game here, and I agree with that 100%. So the way that we worked it out is it ended up we would charge for the ad spend per agent $150 a month to those people. And what that would do is to give them 14 to 20 leads per month. Now, I created something very different here that, you know, it's a little bit out of the box, but I went to every agent and I said, now, we have this tremendous website, and some of you are very good friends with some local vendors, and we have the ability to put those vendors on our website, and if we charge them $150 a year to be on our website, and you could find 3 vendors, you could literally pay for your first 3 months of Realty Generator for free.
Wow.
So that's what we did. They all went out and they found, a lot of them found vendors to cover their initial overhead of the first 3 months. Now, it made...
Sells to camp, right, with chocolate bars. Like fundraising.
Yes, absolutely. And these people, they went out and did it, and they found like 3 vendors, and if you go on our site, you'll see our vendor page. But it covered their overhead for 3 months. Now, that gave them close to 60 leads. And the goal is to try to put one pending together during those 3 months. And if they were able to do that, we had what was called a self-sustaining program. In other words, they've never spent a penny. They're in this program, and now they're paying it with the sales from the leads generated.
Mm-hmm.
So it becomes kind of an automated machine, so to speak, that you never really put money into, but now is spitting out coins. And many of them are following that. And the interesting thing is we've been now coming up to about a year with the system. Well, a lot of those original vendors will be re-upping and now giving them another $150.
Mm-hmm.
So now they're getting money from their vendor partners and making money at the same time from the system. So we were able to get 10 people into the system, 1/3 of our company almost, that are using this system and using it in a profitable manner. So it's a little different twist than the other programs, but once again, these people got in with virtually no money.
So you not only leverage the lender partner piece, but you leverage the featured business partners that you can add into the system, rotate on the website, you know, create a referral network for your office, and then. But how do you limit it, or how do you structure it so that you don't have like 20 lawn care offices, or I mean, is there any sort of structure?
Yeah, we do have 3 per category, but only 1 mortgage company.
3 per category. Okay.
And like we have no trouble filling some of these categories, and there are even some old friends of mine that could not get on it because those were already filled. So we had very little trouble filling the primary categories, and we actually created a contract with the vendors, which I'm more than happy to share with anybody, and it's a very simple 1-year contract.
Great.
It worked out very well.
Is that the same contract you sent to me the other day?
I believe I sent you the contract for the agent. Yes, I did send it to you, yes. Mm-hmm.
Great. Well, if anybody wants that, I can identify really easily who wants that. Just when you fill out the survey at the end of this class, there's an additional comment section. So with your permission, Tom, I'd be happy to share that with them.
The first page is like a corporate overview of the program, and the second page is the 1-year agreement.
Great. Okay. Great. Well, I'll make that available to our exit brokers on the call that want it, that indicate in the survey. Well, thank you very much. That's very generous of you. Is there anything else that you think people should know about your overall model that would help them replicate what you've done to get agents?
So far, it's worked very good. Again, we only have 10 people in the system, and much like you've already heard, we have limited it to some degree. And I think as a result of that, you know, if someone does bail, we have someone to take their place. And that does happen in a given month where maybe someone has taken a vacation, as the case may be. But the mortgage company, by the way, loves this because, as I said, they're making money not only on the Realty Generator, I call it RG, so if I say that, that's what I mean.
Okay.
On Realty Generator, but they're getting money from all the other ancillary sales that the agents are doing. Not only the agents that are on the ad spend program, but also the rest of the agents in the company. Because we really tell our agents, you know, this mortgage company is underwriting a large cost of the entire program. So your website and your agent dashboard is also in essence being underwritten by this mortgage group. And they're finding that it has worked extremely well for them. And the more people that we bring into the company, they'll be coming in with that understanding as well. But a very interesting thing is going on right now. I was talking to one of my agents this morning, and she's putting a deal together right now that is a result of Realty Generator. And she said, Tom, you wouldn't believe how many people I have in my pipeline right now. People who haven't been able to sell their homes, but the minute they do, and this all came through Realty Generator, and she used a term which I found very interesting, much like the REO business. We talk about a shadow inventory. Well, we have a shadow inventory of buyers literally in the hundreds right now, and we've only been doing this about a year. Mm-hmm. All these people that can't buy because they haven't sold their home, but the minute this market turns, we're sitting on literally hundreds of potential sales just waiting to come to pass as a result of the market not allowing them to proceed, but because of the Realty Generator. And it's amazing how many people that if this market even begins to tweak a little bit, all of a sudden we have people lined up that have been, by the way, already pre-approved by our mortgage company because they all go through them, but they're ready to push once they sell their house. So I can't imagine what the avalanche is going to be of potential buyers originally created through Realty Generator, that once this happens, it's going to be like Christmas. Right. There's no doubt about that. So we're really looking forward to that one.
So, but I'm sure like a big part of an agent's hurdle, though, is just proving to them how they can afford it now. Mm-hmm. Is there anything, you mentioned to me something, you use a Vegas example of how you bring agents and sell agents and bring them on board.
Well, once again, they do have the ability to bring in vendors, which pays for their monthly program, but there aren't going to be too many people that go out and get 12 vendors to cover their whole year. Uh-huh. But I always use this analogy because I think it's pretty fitting. Having been doing this for so many years and gone to so many conventions in Vegas and everywhere else, I tell the agents, if I gave you $1,800 and guaranteed you that you could, at minimum, double your money, would you place that bet? And everybody looks at me like I have two heads, and they say, well, of course. Uh-huh. I said, well, that's what you're doing with Realty Generator. You take, if it's costing you $150 a month, that's $1,800 a year. And if you get 20 leads per month times 12 months, that's 240, and using some of the examples that was given, if that makes you 2 to 3 sales even in a given year, and our average sale price nets them in our market about $3,000 per deal, and they make $6,000 to $9,000, the question I pose to you again, would you spend $1,800 to make $6,000 or $9,000 per year? The answer, it has to be yes. I would do that. And that has worked very well. They understand it when you break it down to the simple.
Right. Right. Excellent. Well, thank you. Thanks for sharing that, because I think a lot of brokers that I know I talk to that are struggling to get their agents to buy into the system, they have a hard way, and they just have a hard time breaking it down to their agents as simply as that. So I like that. Thank you very much for sharing that.
Put everything on green, by the way.
Everything on green. Okay. When the exit convention is in Vegas, we'll
there you go.
be following you around. Excellent. Well, thanks so much, Tom. Now, this next section, let's dive into the recruitment and retention strategies that you guys employ in your office. And Mike, why don't we start with you on this? What have you found in Realty Generator, or have you found that Realty Generator gives you any advantage recruiting or keeping agents on board? And if so, how?
Well, I'll give you a good example. This morning, one of my agents walked in, and literally, I mean, this is, this as it is. The other agencies in here, continue to try to recruit my agents, and we sat down and just had a conversation. He's not going anywhere, but he just, I guess everybody likes to know that they're wanted, and I pointed out that they, how many leads did they guarantee you, are you going to be able to take this business with you? And of course, they don't bring that up in any discussion. And so I think some of this recruiting from other agencies is kind of faint-hearted. Because what they're promising is I can increase your business, but oh, by the way, you're going to have to take a few steps back in order for us to do that. You know, I've used the analogy before that I can create you a steady, predictable flow of leads, and I equate it to a factory, because if a factory doesn't have a steady, predictable flow of parts coming in, you're not going to have a steady, predictable flow of outcome. So
right.
Steady, predictable flow of leads will create you a steady, predictable flow of outcome, and that's commissions.
Right.
And I mean, when I tell you that this works, and you know, that analogy is just the plain simple facts. And like Tom was saying, the pipeline. I think any business that doesn't have some sort of pipeline of business coming in has no future. And the same as an agency, the same as the broker or the agents. And so I can look in there and say, well, I had this X amount of leads for this month, and that's going to create this many, you know, buyers next month and the following month. I mean, every crop is planted, grows, and you know, matures at a different time.
Right.
But you know, they always say you pray in your time and God answers in His time. Well, it's the same thing with this. We'd like to see these leads all, you know, come to fruition tomorrow morning, but we've literally gone a year or two with somebody in the system, and these people aren't showing houses to these people. They're just emailing back and forth, and all of a sudden, like Tom was saying, hey, I sold my house. I moved to Virginia. I need to find a house in 30 days.
Right.
These are crops that have been planted a long time ago, and you know, I see these other agencies, and why are they recruiting my agents? Is because my agents are recruitable. They actually look like they're doing business because they are, but they can't produce the same level of leads, or they're not willing to, and so a distinct advantage is retention. I mean, you know, I love hearing these recruiting stories, and I might implement a few of these myself, just because I really haven't been interested in finding a bunch of agents that aren't doing any business. You know, we can all get all of those we want. You know, when you start hearing the story that I want to hang my license somewhere, and you're going, hold on, did you get my name and number before I hang up? Because we all get those phone calls, and we don't want those agents. You know, I mean, it's a cold hard fact.
Some giggling in the background.
It's funny.
It's just the truth, you know. And so, no, but if you don't have a steady, predictable flow of leads, and the other thing is the skin in the game. I mean, I think it's very important, because I equate it to like owning having a season ticket to a sporting event. If you have the ticket and you purchased it, you're going to the game. If you're thinking about going to the game and the weather's a little bad this afternoon, you don't go because you don't have any vested interest in going. And so you got to keep them in the game. You got to keep them playing. And so if they don't have any skin in the game, in my humble opinion, you know, people just won't show up. So, I mean, I've given tickets away to people to a sporting event, and you know, on Monday, how's the game? Oh, I couldn't go. You know, and the tickets weren't worthless. It's just because they didn't pay for them, they didn't go.
Right.
So, you know, that's the way I kind of see it is. But I love hearing some of these recruiting ideas, but I would only suggest that, you know, moving players to your team and not looky-loos that want to think they're players, unless they just have had. Go ahead.
Have you lost any players
No.
on your team that are top producers?
No, knock on wood when I say that. I am superstitious.
I'll knock for you.
Well, they say it's bad luck to be superstitious, so.
So true.
No,
that speaks for itself, though. You haven't lost a single agent in your office that's a top producer.
No, and you know, the good news is that the dues come, our National Association dues come due at a certain time of the year. The exits do come at a certain time of the year, and the people that you don't want to keep, but you don't want to have to be harsh to them, they let themselves out the door when they don't pay their fees. You know, and you just don't hold it shut for them. You kind of open it and say, well, you know, maybe they'll give you a little bit, you know, maybe you get lucky across the street, you know. But, you know, because I always say that if you keep bad agents in your office, when they go to a party and someone says, how's real estate? And they go, it sucks. And they go, well, how's exit? And they go, it sucks. And then it says, well, how are you? And they go, I'm great. Well, no, really, it's probably they suck. You know, and everything they do is just, you know, a shadow, you know, just showing what they really are. So having a bunch of deadbeat agents hanging around is demoralizing. It's time consuming, And so we can make a so-so agent a lot better by giving them a good, warm, steady flow of leads.
Awesome, awesome. Susan, what about you, giggler?
Oh, I'm just laughing because it's so true. And here we are as brokers and owners, and we're doing our business on a daily basis, and it's like, yay, E&O's due. These people are going to leave. And so I just agree with everything that you're saying, Mike. I wanted to share a really fun story about Realty Generator and that pipeline of business. We had 2 cash buyers walk in 1 week, and they literally walked into the front and they said, I'm here to see Susan Ebert, and she's just been sending me all of these houses, and we picked one and we're ready to buy it. And I have to tell you that, honestly, I'd never met them, had never shown them houses. The system had done the drip campaign that it does, and the initial contact wizard where it showed them houses that were like properties.
And listing alerts?
Oh my gosh, it did its thing, and these clients walked in. They said, we're here to buy the house you showed us. And we sold them that house that day. And I had 2 in 1 week that happened with us in the office.
That's
well,
awesome.
Susan, when they come in, because you've been sending your smiling face every time you send, and I mean it's complimentary.
And the long eyelashes.
But when you send them that picture, they walk in and feel like they know you. I mean, they where you don't know them because they haven't been sending you back emails with pictures. But when they come in, we literally have them come walking in the office too, and it's like chums meeting, like at a high school reunion or something. They really just feel like they already know you.
Oh yeah, they hugged me. What?
How long did it take though for those types of things to start happening for your office? Because some people are like, will that happen in the first month, or will that happen a year down the road? I mean.
You know what, the 2 particular ones, one of them actually was in the system for 2 full years. One of those cash buyers was in the system for 2 full years. The other one was 2 months. And so, and this just happened in this last year, and so I've been on the system for almost 5 years. But those kind of things happen all the time, within the agent relationships. These guys just happen to walk into the office that day. And so, it's really a very powerful tool that we have here, and we want to let those people sit and digest and shop and use the site and leverage it. But as far as recruiting and attracting people to our office, the thing I love about Realty Generator is that we don't have to recreate the wheel. I don't have to go and invent a website that has a follow-up drip campaign, that has a call center, that has folders for them to go ahead and separate their leads into according to the status of them. I don't have to make it so that when a text message, I can get text messages when someone's trying to communicate with me. I can communicate effectively immediately because my phone notifies me when someone's inside the system. This is a powerful system that is in place. And when we teach our agents to put their listing system in place and their buyer system in place and their recruiting systems in place, this already does this for us. And the management tools that it provides inside the system are top of the line. It makes it so our job is easy. I think consistency with recruiting agents is one of the best things we can do. I was sharing earlier with Mike and Tom, I do a career night, and I leverage Realty Generator in that career presentation. The same as we all share with Exit, what Exit is and who Steve Morris is, the digital marketing strategies with Jeff Lobb, I include and I leverage Realty Generator in my career nights. And I have a little website, and I take them to the website. I show them the back end and show them what we're going to do and what we can give to them that another brokerage isn't going to offer them.
Leverage the system, the lead generation, the management tools, the listing tools, all as separators for your office and your career night. Where else do you promote, and where do you attract those agents?
You know what? We do. I have to tell you, in Southern California, Craigslist is an amazing thing.
How many people do you think come to your career nights from your Craigslist posting?
Well, I average 2 to 10,
wow.
And it depends on how many people come. I do it once a week, consistently every Tuesday. It's not a large group of people, but when you can share your wealth of information that you have with one person at a time, it changes one life at a time. And so I've never thought, oh gosh, this one person isn't valuable. I've always just been consistent in what it is we do. And also with the real estate school, we have a great big banner on our office. We roll out to the street. We have one on the building saying when the career nights are. We advertise in our real estate book on our page that we have the career nights, that we have a real estate school that you can attend every Monday and Wednesday night. And then at all of those functions, we just talk about who you are. And the thing that is the easiest is the agents that are on Realty Generator. It's funny because they are probably my biggest recruiters in the office. They are able to say, look, I'm doing this, this, and this is making my business and my personal growth happen. And we see that they are the ones who come alongside and support the career nights. They support and they go on Craigslist themselves and advertise our real estate classes and what we have to offer.
Do you give agents in your office anything if they bring in a friend that signs up with your office, or what do they have other than just helping their fellow person, or do they just, is it all out of the goodness of their heart?
You know what, this is really amazing. I'm just going to say this. I don't give away presents for that. We give away presents at our meetings. I have a once-a-month meeting. I give away a $100 Visa gift card every month for an on-time drawing. All the people who are on time, people get there on time because they want to, and then it's the last thing we do at our meeting. That's a big prize. But honestly, I have to say my office and the people in it have such a great team spirit, and they are empathy-driven, and they do it out of the kindness of their heart, and they're responding to the vision and the goals that we've set before them that the office has, and they want to step into that picture with us. And we do our agent appreciation luncheon once a month, and so we do say thank you at that event to our agents. We buy them a beautiful lunch that's a $25, lobster bisque, filet mignon, gorgeous lunch. But honestly, they're really just responding to the goodness that's happening here.
Good. That's a good thing to breed in your office.
Breeding is good.
So before we go down that path, let me bring on Tom. So Tom, you have a rather unique way of bringing in new agents to your office and recruiting agents. Do you want to share a little bit about that and what you focus on that every other broker on this call can also attract? I say that because you're doing something very unique that I'm not sure every single person on this call can do. Do you want to tell us a little bit about it?
Which one? First thing I want to do is join Susan's office because I haven't had a good lobster bisque since I left Boston. I've been in Dallas 14 years now, and I can't find a good seafood restaurant. So.
Oh, you need to go to lobstertank.com. You can order it. They'll deliver it to your house.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Either that or I'm going to take a trip to Boston.
There's a great little seafood restaurant in Grapevine, Texas.
Which one?
Down at the end of the street, that little brick block building.
Okay, all right.
All right.
All right. Well, I want to I'm just going to add a unique twist to some of the things that everybody's doing because I don't know where this idea came from, but having been in the business over 30 years, I'm always thinking of a new way to do anything. And from a recruiting perspective, I somehow came up with this idea of doing a real estate reality show. Absolutely insane idea, and I'm in the process of, instead of interviewing now, I am doing auditions. Mm-hmm. And as a result of that, I put a big ad into Craigslist, and I put a different one out to about 10,000 emails through the eCampaign Pro system. And I've already talked to, I'm doing this in combination with Kevin Ahern and the Live Interactive system. We're actually going to take 10 people, and we're going to watch them grow over a 4-month period from wherever they are today to wherever they're going to be using all the exit systems. And I used to be a national trainer, but I'm going to be their coach, their mentor, and I'm going to have a lot of speakers coming in through the internet to train these people during this time. And the program is going to watch their growth, and it's going to be all about their growth and production increase as they go through these 4 months. Now, that sounds crazy. We've already got it figured out. As a matter of fact, I talked with Tammy Bonnell at length on Saturday, and she was all excited about it. She thought this was a great idea. So, but the reason why I'm telling you this is that at the heart of this entire program lies Realty Generator. Because I'm looking at the ad, I pulled it up right now, and it says, Exit Realty International and Exit Advantage Realty of Dallas, along with the live interactive television network, presents the Dallas Real Estate Reality Show. 10 full-time individuals will be chosen to be mentored and coached to become the area's most successful real estate agents. A $6,000 startup package is covered by the advertisers and producers. Now, the first thing I've got here is free monthly lead generation, minimum 15 to 20 leads per month.
Mm-hmm.
Now, remember when I said earlier everybody's looking for leads?
Yep.
Well, everybody's also looking for recognition right now, too. So the second line says local and national media recognition. And then it goes on, free website with leads management system, free marketing materials package. This is Exit Pro Shop. Free multimedia listing materials, including with 1-800 numbers. That's also an Exit program that you all know about. So what I did was I combined all these programs that Exit is putting together, but the real highlight of this thing I knew was going to be 15 to 20 leads per month. Now, we have already auditioned 20 people for this program. And some of them were, it's funny because some of them would come in and they were all about the drama.
Mm-hmm.
They thought it was a reality show based on drama. And I said, no, no, no. Because part of my presentation says this is nothing like Survivor. We don't throw you off the island. This is nothing like Dancing with the Stars because no one wants to see 10 agents dancing. I'll tell you that right now. What I said is it's all about production.
Right.
And that's
Awesome.
what it's about. So
Great.
as a matter of fact, we're going to be doing this in probably about 2 months from now. We're going to, once I cast the entire thing, we're going to go into pre-production. So if you want to see this, we're trying to work something out through Kevin's system that everybody in the country will be able to see this program and watch them grow. But I'm making a long story short here is I'm taking a very different system, but I'm using the existing systems that are available to exit brokers.
Mm-hmm.
And simply telling them this is another way to do it in a fun, competitive model to a degree. But I'm finding now that if I were to hire everybody that's responded to this thing, I would probably double my company.
Right.
Now, that's not my goal because some of these people that are coming in I wouldn't hire on a bet. But I'm getting people that I probably would not have been able to bring in if it hadn't been for coming up with a crazy idea like this.
That's
And
great. Creative
so
strategies.
It's a little bit different. If any of you want to call me, you know, I'd be happy to share anything I'm doing. I just can't do anything normal, especially in a market like this. So.
Well, that's okay. We all have to think outside the box. So it's kind of good, and I wanted you to talk a little bit about it just because, you know, getting creative and thinking outside the box is ways to bring people in, and knowing the specifics, and that's what you all said together essentially was, what do you leverage that perks up agents' ears, and it's the lead generation. It's the system that you have with this system already. You can put whatever wrapping you want on it, but it's the key components of what you're providing and that you're leveraging as separators against other brokerages and other brands is what is really bringing more agents in the door for you. So that's great. Now we are getting close to the end, and I do want to make sure we leave some time for questions. So let's talk about strategies to maintain success. So, and I know, Tom, you're a little bit newer to the system, so maybe Mike and Susan, or I mean, all of you can speak in this, but basically, how do you, once you get agents on board, how do you set expectations, and what do you do to hold them accountable to make sure they're following up based around the best practices and expectations you've set? How do you basically police that, for lack of a better word, in your office? Mike, why don't we start with you?
No, I'm probably the worst one to ask that question because.
Okay, then Susan.
Well, I would say as a new user, though,
Okay.
I used to be really a nut about it, and I would sit, because you can monitor everything that goes on, and an agent would come walking in the office, and I would say, how's that $300,000 lead, or that 400, or that 200, and it creates a conversation because they know that you're interested in their business, and it gives you some sense of what they're doing, and I would say that it's an insight to their soul. Because if they're not taking those kind of leads seriously, what do they, when they go to a Christmas party or a holiday, somewhere, and somebody says, hey, I want to buy or sell real estate, if they're turning their back on a lead that's raised their hand on the generator and says, I want to do business, what are they doing with the rest of their business? So I really think that's an insight to what their business practices are as a whole, just because you can only see one segment, but it's a representative segment of what they're doing. And so when you have a good, diligent team of people, I mean, we sold a $40,000 house from it this year, and well over a $600,000 or $500,000 sale from it. And in my statistics, we don't even keep track of the repeat business that comes from it. I had an agent this summer that sold a generator lead a house, and then her mother wanted to sell a house, a $550,000. There was a $560,000 sale that he ultimately hit both sides on. So it was over $1 million sale at a 6% commission. And so, the accountability, it's built into it in an odd way. But for newer people, you really do have to stay on top of it. I'm sure Susan probably could give you better,
Well, you know what? I agree with everything you're saying, and holding the agent accountable is really important in setting those expectations. We actually do a once-a-month meeting with any of the Realty Generator participants and partners so that everybody's coming together and it creates that synergy. Everyone gets together and talks about what each other is doing, the success that each other is having. And so it creates support within the system. And, I have delegated the broker dashboard to another person in the office so that I know that's being taken care of every single day. And they hold the agents accountable. And I kind of play good cop, bad cop with Realty Generator. And Realty Generator's the bad cop. And I'm the good cop. I'm like, hey, you guys, you're making us look bad. And the system provides deactivations when people are not following up accordingly. And we forward those deactivations to our agents so that they can see when they're not performing to the expectation that we want.
So you make it look like we're coming down on you, the broker, and
yes.
you do a bad grade, and so you just want to so you forward that on to the agent. So
I do.
Well, you want them to see that you're seeing what they're doing.
Yes.
Yeah. I totally agree with that.
Well, and I run those meetings with the Realty Generator team, so that makes it so that we are coming together. And once a month, also the girl who I have delegated the responsibilities in supporting the broker dashboard, she actually teaches a class once a month in the office. The fourth Tuesday of every month, everyone knows that they can come into this office and they are going to be taught something new or learn something new, and it also helps with the support of the brand new agents, and it sets the expectations of how we expect them to use it.
Great.
And so it's been a good thing. Holding the classes is good too.
Okay, great. And then how often do you have your agents meet as far to go over the Realty Generator system?
I do it once a month, but I'm going to tell you that right now, as we've been visiting our business plan, I believe we're going to go to every 2 weeks.
Okay. And do you have anything written out, or does anybody on the call have anything written out? Because some of the brokers I've talked to found that they've had some success with basically it's not a contract of I agree to be on the system for so long, but it's a contract of I agree to do X, Y, and Z, like respond within X amount of time and process my leads and move them to the sold folder when I sell, when I close the sale. Do you have any sort of expectation guide like that, or do you think that would be helpful?
Well, I do, because mine is a scaled back in, and so we use and I've sent that to you. I believe you might have gotten it. With what they pay. And
well, fill out the survey, Susan.
Well, sorry, the idea is that, because I even in there, it gives a deadline as when a lead should be, and it's such a generous deadline. And the generator, and we all know that if you're not, it's a race to who gets back to some of these people. And if we win the race to start, then we stay in the game. And if you let a lead turn dead, when somebody tells me it's not working, well, then I know you're not working it. I mean,
Right.
if you come to me and say all my leads are bad, then I believe you've turned all your leads into bad leads.
Okay.
It's just as simple as that. Random luck. If it was 10 leads in and you said all my leads were bad, but when you get to 100 leads and you tell me all your leads are bad, you've turned your leads into bad leads. It's just that simple. You couldn't know back to what Tom was saying in Las Vegas, you couldn't flip a coin 100 times and hit tails. It's just not logically possible.
Right.
So if you passed over a good buyer, it's because you're not playing the game right.
What do you do? What strategy do you use for agents that you see that are cherry picking? Or I mean, that anybody can answer that. I mean, because it's hard to tell by looking at a lead if it's going to be good or bad. So do your agents cherry pick? And if so, do you have any strategies to help overcome that?
No, I'll answer first. Yeah, they cherry pick. Do they pick the right ones every time? No.
Right.
But it's just, I think some of it's pricing more than it is with the buyer. Or sometimes the buyers are asking all the wrong questions, and it makes it hard to break through to the, I'm looking for a lease to purchase, and people are going, oh my gosh, these people, there must be credit or something like that, or, the wrong questions will trigger the wrong response.
Right.
And it is pricing sometimes. I mean, it just literally is because, the amount of effort you put into something. I mean, I have to say, if you're only going to be able to work, X amount of hours in a day, and it's, I'm going to get paid this much for doing that or paid half of that, I think sometimes myself, I would be picking, based on price if nothing else. But that may be a stupid strategy because you never know who's the real player until you work them.
Yeah. Well, I still do the good cop, bad cop with that. I'm saying we're working with a nationwide company. They're looking at us, and we don't want to look bad at Exit Twin Advantage Realty to Realty Generator by not responding to someone.
Okay. And
really
then do they have to do anything or partner with somebody or?
Well, when people get overwhelmed inside the system, I always encourage them to bring on their own buyer's agent to help work the system with them. It's been a wonderful thing that they partner with someone in the office.
Okay, so that's only if you see them start to cherry pick because you don't want RV to come down on you.
That's right, baby.
Perfect. I got it. I can play that part. I can play that.
You're really pretty to play that part.
Well, that's nice of you.
Just listening to what you have to say, we're on the newest guy in the bunch here. I'm picking up ideas from the two of you, because I have found at times to be overwhelmed by sometimes following up on all of this, and really I do like, Susan, your idea very much of delegating this to someone. And the idea that you gave me as I was sitting here, I was going, well, if I can get someone to come in and do that and give them a free 15 to 20 leads a month, would they help me? And, you can tell the way my brain thinks.
That's exactly what I do.
You do? Okay, great.
Yep, that's exactly what we do.
That way you're trading services, and that takes a tremendous burden off of the broker, because I'm glad I'm on this webinar. I'm getting ideas now.
Well, good. Well, let's have the other brokers that are on the call now. Before we end the call, let's give them a chance to ask you guys some questions they have, and they might be more detail-oriented than that. And you guys are welcome to ask any detail-oriented question. We have a beautiful panel of experts today. So if you have a question, first of all, your viewer might have automatically just contracted a bit, so you can expand your viewer to ask questions by clicking this little red arrow. If you want to ask, if you've dialed in from the phone, just click this little raise hand icon. That's how I know you have a question, and you can ask it of anybody or ask a general question. And then the chat or the question, online question queue, you can enter your question and then press the send button. So those are the different ways you can ask our panelists the questions, and as soon as we go through those, then we'll do the iPad drawing. So raise your hand or type your question into the chat. And don't be shy. They're here to support you. They want to see Exit dominate. So any questions, just raise your hand or type a question into the chat. All right. Well, Jimmy said that he found all of your comments very helpful, and he's a new Market Leader client, so he really appreciates all of your help and your time today. So that was really nice. Let's see if I can extend my little question pane here. Jean asks, are you charging agents that are not getting ad leads for the system and then letting them buy their own internet ads and drive them to their website? Anybody want to take a stab at that?
We do not charge, and we do have other agents that have their own websites. And can they put their leads into this? Is that what we're saying?
Well, I think they're wondering it sounds like none of you do charge agents that are not getting ad leads for this system. I know a lot of people just charge a small amount for people that are inactive, that are not getting leads from your ad dollars. But they're wondering, for those people that you give to those agents, do you let them drive their own ad leads to their own specific website?
We do.
I do.
However it works, sure.
Yeah, I would honestly like them to say, hey, I'll pay the back-end fee, but I don't generally get anyone raising their hand doing that. But no, I'm not going to discourage anybody from using the system.
Okay.
You know, quite frankly, it's there. It's in there. All they have to do is understand how to use it.
Yeah, I would think bringing and helping them bring in as much money as possible to the business would be positive. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great. Great. Oh, and then we have a question for Tom from Jane. Jane asked you, Tom, or wants to ask you, how many vendors total do you have on Realty Generator? One lender and how many other vendors?
Okay, I'd have to take a look at our own website. I think at last count we had probably close to 18, I'm guessing. And, you know, and again, we can add as many as we want to. As we were working with Realty Generator to get this done, it kind of morphed into some different things, and we're going to be changing it up to some degree, but basically I think if you look at our website, which is Exit Advantage Realty TX as in Texas.com, and just go to vendors, we have them on page one. They flip so that everybody has a page one presence, and they really appreciate that. And I think we're probably going to get into another round of adding more people as well as we get into our second year of operation. And so you can take a look. In any case, one of the things that I sent to our leader here, our fearless leader here, was a introductory page listing about, I think, 20 or 30 different types of vendors. So if you want to request that, that may help you.
Okay, I'll manage that for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just put in so if you want that, what Tom's mentioning, just put it in the survey that pops up at the end of this call, and I can send that out to anybody that fills out that survey. So thanks for that, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question for you, Tom, just as a follow-up question. Do you charge different amounts? Because I know with the Realty Generator system, as a broker, you have control whether or not an added vendor gets rotated on the website. So do you charge a certain amount for people that don't get rotated, and maybe a little bit more for those that do rotate on the main page, or do you just keep it all flat, 150?
We just make it fair to everybody. It's 150, and we rotate everybody.
Okay.
The only one that has a standard positioning on the front page is the mortgage company, and they're at the bottom of the front page because of what they're paying.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Excellent. Let me see if any hands are raised out there. And I'm not seeing any hands raised. And I don't see any more questions coming into the chat. So last chance to ask a question. And I don't see any coming through here. So thanks, everyone. Thanks, Susan, Mike, and Tom. We so appreciate all of your help today and all of your kind words of advice. And one more thing I want to mention before we do the iPad drawing is we are, Market Leader, we are going to be at the next Exit convention. So please save the date. Mark your calendars for a cocktail reception that we are hosting. Drinks are on us. It will be a great evening where I'll get to meet you and the rest of the Market Leader team as well, including your account manager and the Market Leader leadership team, so you can give us all your great feedback. So for all Exit brokers, customers and non-customers alike are invited. So it's just our way of saying thank you and showing our appreciation for your continued business. So let's do a brief iPad drawing.
Yay! Yippee! Woohoo!
All right. So we did we have a system here that automatically chooses somebody, and it looks like Greg Shahan. I'm going to unmute your line, Greg. Greg, can you hear me?
I'm here.
You're there. You must be present to win, and you're present. Congratulations.
Hey, thank you very much.
You won an iPad. So
Yay!
Yay! Everyone's here.
Say an iPad?
Greg, I'll give you my. Yeah, you won it. So
Perfect.
awesome. Hopefully someone will teach you how to use it. You're going to be the luckiest guy on earth here pretty soon. So So Greg, for me to send that to you, I'm going to need you to send me an email, Shannon
Okay.
S. And nobody try to pretend they're Greg. So Shannon S is in Sam at marketleader.com.
Shannon S.
Yep, at marketleader.com. And I'll have your email as well. So fill out the comments and also mention it there so I can make
Okay.
sure I get it. And then just send me your shipping address. We'll get that off to you, okay?
Perfect. Thank you.
Awesome. You're welcome. So thanks, everyone. And please join me in thanking our 3 featured brokers today for taking this time out of their day to share their success strategies with all of us. We at Market Leader appreciate your generosity, and thanks for choosing us as your marketing partner. So thank you, Tom, Mike, and Susan very much.
You're welcome.
And we do have this class again coming up on Thursday and again next Wednesday. So if your fellow brokers didn't get to come, get them to come to those next classes. So we'll be here. So thanks, everyone. And we will say goodbye now. Mute everyone.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.